Hello, I'm Kirsty Young, and this is a podcast from the Desert Island Discs archive. For rights reasons, we've had to shorten the music.
The programme was originally broadcast in 1994, and the presenter was
and his mother a charlady, and he himself worked as an electrician before he thought seriously about acting. He did his first professional work at Bromley Rep and Summer Seasons and Pantos before he was spotted for a television show called Do Not Adjust Your Set. Some success in both radio and television followed, but no great fame, until, in his early 40s, the BBC offered him the part of a Cockney wide boy in a new comedy called Only Fools and Horses. Del Boy made him a household name. A decade later, he endeared himself to even more millions as Pop Larkin in The Darling Buds of May. He needs no further introduction from me. He is, obviously, David Jason. Recognition was a long time coming, David. Does it make it all the sweeter?
Yes, I suppose it does, really. The giddy heights of fame, one never really thought that they were to be, for me. I was always going to be a jobbing actor, a working character actor. So when that sort of fame, if you like, started to come with Fools and Horses, it was a little bit of a shock.
But it was a rocky path, wasn't it, to the top?
Yeah,
I mean, presumably not one you'd recommend.
No, I wouldn't. Because you've got to be monk-like or nun-like. It is a vocation, and to me it was a vocation. It was the only thing that I wanted to do, was to be on that stage and entertain people.
But it's a great story. It's a great success story, which I want to go into in detail with you. But it's Christmas. You're here. You've arrived. Tell me about Christmas days you've known. Presumably you must have spent an awful lot of them in boarding houses around the land doing panto.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I suppose the saddest Christmas that I've ever experienced was I was doing pantomime in Newcastle. I was playing Buttons in Cinderella. What happened was, when you were working in a company, you get the company flu. And I got it about 2 days or a day and a half before Christmas Day. Now, there's no such thing as, I've got a doctor's certificate, can I have 3 days off, Gov, and you still pay me? There's none of that. You're in the theatre, you've got to go on every night, and no matter if you're dying, you've got to go on and make them laugh. So anyway, I struggled back after 2 shows Christmas Eve, fell into bed, and I'm in a sweat. And I'm absolutely, the cold is running, I'm feeling really ill. So I wake up about 11 to 12 o'clock, and I'm lying in bed in this hotel. And I phoned down to the reception, and I said, excuse me, are you doing Christmas dinner today? They said, yes, oh yes, sir, certainly. I said, oh, good, thank you very much. And I fell back to sleep. So about 5 o'clock, I decided I've got to get up. No, it's Christmas Day. Come on, enjoy yourself. Festive season. It's wonderful. So I had a bath and everything, and I staggered downstairs and went into the restaurant. And it was like Butlins holiday camp midwinter. Absolutely not a soul to be seen. So I went and sat at the table, and I looked out of wind and rain-swept Newcastle. I'm sitting at this table saying, it's very odd, I thought, there's nobody here. It's Christmas Day, Christmas dinner, they said. So I eventually get up and I go to the kitchens, and I open the door of the kitchens and I shout, hello, is anybody there? And all you could hear was my echo. Anybody there? Anybody there? Hello, hello, hello. Oh, this is not looking good. So eventually someone comes out and he says, yes? I said, I understand that you do Christmas dinner. Where is everybody? He said, no, Christmas dinner. Oh, that's right. Oh, yes, pet, we do that like, 12 o'clock.
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime. They call it dinner up there. I couldn't believe it. So my Christmas Day dinner ended up with cold turkey and salad, sitting on my own, looking out over Newcastle, watching the rain fall. My one day off, Christmas Day, and I looked at myself, went upstairs and looked in the mirror and went, Happy Christmas.
Oh, dear. It's a bit like Christmas on a desert island, really, when you think about it.
Well, exactly. It'd be bloody sight more fun on a desert island than up there on your own.
You get music on this one. What's your first record?
My first record is The Darktown Poker Club by Phil Harris.
And why do you want it?
Well, there's a reason for that. When I was a young lad, my friend, I had a very good friend, and his family was a bit better off than my family, and we used to go and play in the loft, and in the loft we found one of those very old wind-up gramophone records, with a speaker that goes, one of those. And they had all these black long playing records. And one of the records that we used to play was the Darktown Poker Club. We used to love it because we tried to learn it. And I still remember quite a lot of it.
Bill Jackson was a poor rebel who joined the Darktown Poker Club.
Bill Harris and the Darktown Poker Club, and the words are coming back thick and fast here.
Yeah.
Long time ago, that.
It was a long time ago.
Now, 2 Christmases ago, we couldn't turn on the telly without bumping into you, David Jason, in one guise or another. Only Fools was on Christmas Day, Darling Buds on Boxing Day, Touch of Frost had been on, I think, on about the 20th, something like that. And, of course, you were Roald Dahl's BFG, the voice for that in the middle as well. Did you still walk round your village in Buckinghamshire in disguise, trying not to be noticed?
No, I don't. Not in my village, no. Because everybody knows me now and they don't take really much notice. It's when I go to other places, I try to keep a low profile.
Why?
Well, it's rather embarrassing to be cornered all the time, and people can be very undiplomatic. For example, I was in a major store, I think it was probably last year, the year before, and I was quietly doing my thing, quietly looking through a few jackets and things in this rather posh store. And somebody comes up to me and he says, "Hey, you're him, aren't you?" I said, "I'm sorry." He said, "Yeah, yes, you are. Yeah, I recognise you anywhere. God. Hey, Ethel! And he grabs her, this is absolutely true, he grabs him by the arm in a vice-like grip. And I said, "Excuse me, do you mind?" He said, no, you're not getting away now. Here, Ethel! And he drags me right across the store, shouting, "Ethel, look what I've got here! Look, he's him, this is the one." And the whole store is turning around going, and I've never been so... I couldn't get away.
But it goes deeper than that with you, doesn't it? You are a very private person. I mean, you're not on that kind of light-end golfing circuit with the Bruces and the Tarbys and all of that. You shun all of that, don't you?
Yeah, I suppose I do, really. I find that I enjoy the work. I really enjoy making people laugh. I mean, it's great fun me doing Fools and Horses. I love it.
But at the end of the day, you want to turn your back on that and go home and be a private person.
Yeah. Yes, I think like anybody else does.
But I wonder if it's got more to do with the fact that you have ended up with this comedy tag, as it were, and obviously that's where you've had your success. But actually, you're more than that, aren't you? You're an actor, and that's the bit that you've been trying to develop more of late. And perhaps that's what it is. You are not just a light entertainer.
I have great respect for comics. I think they are the bravest and wonderfulest people in the world, especially the good ones, the talented ones. But I've never been a stand-up comic. I've always been an actor. I've been a character actor. And acting, to me, is entertainment first, entertaining people, and also trying to create people that don't actually exist. It's great fun.
I suppose to put it in a nutshell, one should ask you which of the 2 BAFTA awards you're proudest of, because you got one for Best Light Entertainment Performance for Del Boy, didn't you? But then you got the BAFTA award for Best Actor for being Scullion, the gate man in Porterhouse Blue. So which one are you prouder of?
Well, it's got to be Scullion. Oh, yes, Sheffy. Very proud of that.
Let's have record number 2. What's that?
Well, record number 2, I tell you what, record number 2, Simon and Garfunkel, Homeward Bound. When I was on tour, when you tour as an actor, what you'd find is that come Sunday, wherever you're going, nearly all the actors who are touring always end up at Crewe Station, because all the trains came in there. There was all these actors, all these lovies, shouting to each other across platforms, say, "Where are you going this week?" "Oh, we're off to Aberdeen." "Oh, we're going down to Exeter. What's the business like?" "Very good." And all this would go. You couldn't get a cup of tea, because in those days, British Rail just let their passengers starve. So sometimes you're sitting on this drafty station waiting for your train, which now is hours late, because they are always doing rail works on Sundays. You'd just be sitting there on your suitcase. And when I heard this record, it brought back such memories of me
secondary mod who put you on the stage, is that right?
Yes, I was a very reluctant initiate, I must say. You see, you don't always know what's going to be good for you, do you, when someone tells you to do something. They were doing the school play, and the boy who was playing one of the leading parts got the measles. We were about 14 or something. So the headmaster said to me, you can do this part, it's a funny part, because I was the school idiot, you know. I was always running around, making everybody laugh and being the buffoon, generally. So I said, oh, no, so not me, no, because the idea of acting was a bit sort of sissy and, you know...
For the girls?
The girls, you know, it's girlish, innit? Really, in no way was I going to do it. And he said, yes, you'd be ideal for the part. And I said, no. He said, no, I can't do it, I can't go there. He said... Let me put it this way. Don't make me tell you to do it. Now, I was only 14 at the time, and I stood there looking at him, trying to work out exactly what he meant. And I began to sort of see, I think he's saying, I'm going to do it anyway, whether I like it or not. And I was absolutely stunned. The story really was that I did it, and it was a packed school. We did it for 3 nights, I think. Funny enough, I played an actor in a monkey suit. Please don't say that I'm still wearing it, because you and I will not get on. But when I started to hear, like, 75 people laugh, so 100, whatever it was, parents, now that was much better than 20 or 30-odd kids. And I think that started it all.
Record number 3.
There's a great influence, I think, on many people's lives, people of my age group, which I won't tell you what that is, but you'll probably know it was tremendously powerful stuff. I'm talking about the Beatles. I remember that period was a very silly time. It was wonderful. So to remind me of those times, the Beatles and...
You were spotted professionally, as it were, but they seem to agree that you were playing a very small part in a very small farce in Bournemouth, and that you were upstaging everybody like mad.
I don't know where you got your information from, madam. I deny it completely. Yeah, well, basically, I think that one of the stories is, which is quite romantic, but it wasn't quite as romantic as it sounds. I was discovered at the end of the pier in Bournemouth, and there was this farce going on, and my character didn't come on till just after the beginning of the second act. What happened was I had to come on, and for some reason, everybody disappeared. They're all running about upstairs or out in the garden, and my character is a next-door neighbour who just moved in, and he come in to introduce himself. And he opens the door and says, you know, hello, anybody there? Anybody there? And, of course, the audience thinking, oh, he's an innocent, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. And they had the ship's bell. And during rehearsals, I started to sort of do a bit of business by looking at this bell and looking at it and not taking it nose, and then looking at it and pretending to have a little ring and not ringing it, you know. And the director said to me, look, this is a farce. Love, this is the farce, love. We're in the middle of the second act, and we cannot afford to waste time while you piddle about thinking whether you're going to ring the bell or not. We just haven't got time. We've got to get on with the play. Oh, well then. So I did as I was told. But, you know, I was on there for a couple of weeks, and I was burning to do something with this bell. So one night I said, oh, stuff the director. I'll do it my way. So that was the night that Humphrey Barclay had come down to see whether or not I was any good for being in his new television series. So what I then did, I did my own thing, which was I came in, I looked at the bell, went past it and looked at the bell, went to ring it, then wouldn't ring it.
You really showed off, yeah.
Oh, I did. And, of course, all the other actors were waiting to come on. They couldn't come on until I rang the bell.
But you had the audience there, did you?
I had the audience there.
Yeah.
And there was a wonderful moment. They started to laugh. And they started to laugh and laugh and laugh. And I could hear people saying, go on, ring it. Yeah. Go on, ring it. When I rang it, the whole place erupted. The audience just loved it because they could see what was going on in this little bloke's mind.
And Humphrey Barclay was suitably impressed.
Well, he was suitably impressed.
Swept you off to fame and fortune.
Yes? Well, not really. But gave me my first chance to prove that I could do something on television.
And that was Do Not Adjust Your Set. Mm. And the other members of the cast were Eric Idle, Michael Palin, Terry Jones. And eventually they went off and left you.
Yeah. Yes, rather
They
sad,
dumped you.
No, they didn't dump me. Now, don't you dare say that. You'll have them libelling me.
Nevertheless, they were the kind of Cambridge set, and they didn't take the lad from North Finchley with them, did they?
No, they didn't take the lad from North Finchley.
But you were quite devastated by that, weren't you?
No, I didn't really know anything about it. It wasn't until actually I saw Monty Python's Flying Circus and saw how famous it started to become. It was then I started to realise that, wait a minute, that is the exact format that we had in Do Not Adjust Your Set. And then I started to think, oh, right, would have been nice if they'd invited me to go along with them. And they didn't, and I felt a bit disappointed that I wasn't part of that success.
That's very noble of you.
No, it's very true.
But radio came to the rescue in the form of weekending, invented by David Hatch, and you became famous for your impersonations. Who were your favourites?
I used to do Callaghan, Mr. Callaghan, when he was Prime Minister. I remember he was walking across Trafalgar Square after he lost the election. He looked up at the pigeons and said, "Go on then, might as well, everybody else has." Well, it used to be funny when I did it in weekending.
Let's have another record.
Oh, yes. Well, let's have one of my idols, Peter Sellers. And he was never better for me than when I first got to know him and the rest of the team in The Goon Show.
How would... And think carefully.
Yes?
How would you like to join my great international Christmas pudding exhibition?
Yes.
Oh, no, though. I doubt if you have the stamina. Lift me on your back.
Child's play. Put your foot in. And there.
Good. Now, Moriarty. You sure you've got money?
Yes, of course I have.
Then the Ritz-Carlton grill for lunch, and step on it, please, do you mind?
Yes, and at all costs avoid Max Gildery. Too late.
The Goons and the International Christmas Pudding. The writer of Only Fools, John Sullivan, didn't want you to have the part of Del Boy, did he?
John Sullivan had only ever seen me on television doing things like Open All Hours or Porridge, or always some sort of hapless or unfortunate character. The total opposite was needed for Derek Trotter. He needed a powerhouse, and up front a smart guy, a guy who lives off his wits, right up there, wheeling and dealing and alive and cooking all the time. And John never thought that I would be able to do it.
And you didn't, did you? Because you thought you were auditioning for Grandad.
Yes, I did, actually.
But how much is Del Boy your creation? You know, the gold chains, the camel coat, the swagger. Was that written down, or was that what?
No,
you
the
brought
gold
to?
chains, the rings and the gold chains was in John's original description. But it was true to say that a lot of the character I brought to Derek Trotter. I brought quite a lot because I had been working when I was an electrician with an East End London builder, whose funny name, his name was Derek, and he was, I couldn't get his picture out of my mind when I was reading Fools and Horses, and I built a lot of the swagger, the manner, the chip on the shoulder, really I'm a Mr. Someone Special type, which there are a lot of them about. It's a manner, it's a sort of presence, it's the shoulders swinging. You know, you see men do it and you think, why do they do that? It's wonderful. It's all sort of style, isn't it? You know, it gives them a bit of the old come on with the women, like, you know what I mean?
But did he know the real man? Did he ever find out?
Yes, he did.
Did he?
He did. Derek Hockley was his name. Unfortunately, he died a few years ago. But his daughter wrote to me and said that he was extremely proud to have been thought of as the creation, or helped to create Derek Trotter. And he used to tell everybody, that's me, that is. He was very proud of it. He was a nice man.
Record number 5.
Well, as we were talking about Fools and Horses, one of the most powerful episodes was when Rodney got married. And John Sullivan chose that wonderful record, and it always brings back that moment to me when Rodney and Derek were parting, going their separate ways, and it was Holding Back the Years by...
That was quite a poignant moment in Only Fools, and there were quite a few of those. I mean, it was drama as much as comedy, really.
Yeah, I think that was one of the lovely things. that we did with the programme, and that was daring to show one's emotions, daring to be serious, if you like, in a comedy show. And it did, it worked brilliantly.
Is there more mileage in it yet for you, do you think?
Having a meeting, even as I speak to you.
You're missing this Christmas, though.
Yes, we were hoping to do a Christmas special, and a few problems arose during the year and didn't make it possible. So, unfortunately, I think I missed very much making it, as much as people might miss seeing it. So, a bit sad this year.
But Del Boy will live again.
Del Boy is making his return. Don't you worry about that, Cal.
Because television companies now vie with each other for your services, in the belief that audiences follow names. Do you have that kind of confidence in yourself these days? That whatever you do, they'll turn on?
No. No, that's a frightening prospect. It is a little more difficult now, a lot more difficult, because there is a tremendous responsibility. It is extremely difficult to keep the standard up, of which I and perhaps an audience expectation is up to. So one's problem is trying to look for the programme that not only you want to do, but you want to feel that it could work. Not necessarily be a great success, but certainly not do anything and say, oh yeah, don't mind, give me the Bible, I'll read that, I'll make that funny, or the telephone directory, or give me, a book of verse.
Great power, though, as well. I mean, maybe some of the fun has gone out of it because you do bear this responsibility, but it's also great power. I mean, producers will now take you out and say, David, what would you like to do? You name it, we'll make it.
Oh, dear, you've been reading those funny papers again, haven't you? You believe what you read in the papers. That might happen in America. It doesn't really happen here.
So you didn't say, I quite fancy playing a detective, and they went off and found A Touch of Frost?
Well, yes, in that case, that did happen, really. But that doesn't happen all the time, is what I'm saying.
It's very good for the self-esteem, though, isn't it? And from everything I've read about you, it does seem that you lacked self-esteem, really, from when you were very small till really quite late.
Yeah, I had no self-esteem. I was never, ever good enough. I wanted to be an actor, certainly I burned with it. But everybody around me, everybody was much better than me. Everyone.
And now?
And now nobody's as good as me. No, I shouldn't have said that.
I'll tell him you were laughing at the time.
Yeah, well, I am laughing at the time.
Next record.
One of my favourites, actually, that I love it because I saw the musical so many times. I quite like musicals. Because they've got a story and the music sort of helps to say things. But the sheer energy and sort of vitality that this particular show had, when I saw it on stage, it was unbelievable. And this particular number is just so full of life. America from West Side Story.
America, from the original soundtrack of West Side Story. You give the impression, David, of being a very balanced, level-headed chap. You don't court fame, you don't smoke, you don't much care for bad language. You like nothing better than being at home. But there's another side to all of this, isn't there? There's a part of you that dices with death from time to time. You've done your own stunts, you glide, and you've got into trouble doing that. You scuba dive, and you've had a bit of a drama in that. Is that an important side of you?
It's an element of pushing oneself, I think. I'm a solo glider pilot, so I enjoy that challenge. I also took up scuba diving a few years ago for the same reason. When you get the equipment on and you go down or you go up, it's the breaking the bounds. You break away from your natural environment and you enter someone else's.
Stuff as well, though, isn't it?
It is.
You're also, though, patently a bit eccentric, if I can say. I mean, is it true you've got one of those fairground machines, if not several, those penny slot machines with a sort of crane that comes down and picks up things and then drops them again before it gets to the chute?
Oh, so you had an unhealthy childhood as well, did you?
I did indeed.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. A friend of mine, well, he's got these old machines in his cellar, and I wanted to buy them, and He said he wouldn't, but he would help me make one. So we made one called Marvin the Mystic. These original machines that came out of fairgrounds, and you put a penny in, as you said, and things happen. And this particular one, there's like a crane that drops down, and it's supposed to grab things like £5 and gold watches, and, you know, you remember it well, so do I.
Cuddly toys,
Cuddly toys. But what happened was...
It dropped them.
No, I know the answer to that, because it's a wonderful piece of engineering that makes you think that the grab is going to work like the ones that you see in the road, like a real one that will pick up anything. There's now like a hydraulic thing. It isn't. It's so designed that the only thing that keeps the grab closed is gravity. So anything that is heavier than the little arms of the grab will drop through. It's the only thing that keeps the claws together is gravity.
And is the one you're making going to hang on to these things?
Certainly not, madam.
So you're going to put it up in the sitting room and invite your friends to put 50p in it?
Yes. I should put all these goodies, and that's the fun of it. And they go, oh, I nearly had it. Yes, yeah, and you did. You nearly had, I'd put another £1 in if I were you, and have a few more goes.
So is this how, I mean, when this programme is broadcast on Christmas Day, is that what you'll be doing? Fiddling with your machines?
Quite possibly. Yes. For me, Christmas is a time to be quiet, to be at home and do quiet things, and I shall expect that I shall be there with my good lady, Naomi, who will have a large drink in one hand, and
you'll have an oily rag in the other.
Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, I will. And I'll be very happy, thank you. And I shall probably carve the turkey with the oily rag.
Another piece of music.
Barcelona from Company, because it just reminds me of I spent an awful lot of my time just going across the world. I'd be at home for a few months and I'd be off again. And this sort of reminds me of those times. Lovely to sit in the sun.
Browning singing Barcelona from Company. You'll be quite a dab hand on a desert island then, David.
Yeah.
No problem.
No problem. Love it.
You're fairly antisocial. You're very practical. You like swimming and diving. What about food? Could you kill to eat?
Yeah, if you had to. Yeah. I mean, you'd eat fish, wouldn't you?
So, all things being equal, do I sense that you'd actively like to be cast away on a desert island?
Yes. Actually, I was waiting desperately for you to ask me that through the whole of this interview, so I could say, yes, please.
But you
Let
mean
me go
it,
now.
don't you?
Yeah. As long as it was mosquito-free. And that's the downside. The rest of it, absolutely wonderful. Swimming, building things, going off exploring. Wonderful.
But nobody to laugh at you.
Oh, I'd find a pool and look into it occasionally. Give myself a bit of a laugh.
Last record.
I was on holiday recently in the Caribbean, and there was this amazing electric storm at sea. And have you ever seen an electric storm? It's very, very exciting. And I thought there's bound to be an electric storm on my desert island or just offshore. And I'll just sit there with a large umbrella and maybe a large glass of something that's drifted ashore from the shipwreck, and play Mars, the bringer of war, from the Planet Suite at full volume while the electric storm is going on. Think of that.
Mars, the bringer of war, from Holst's Planet Suite, played by the London Philharmonic Orchestra, conducted by Bernard Haitink. If you could only take one of those 8 discs, David.
I think that I'd have to go for Beatles, and I'd take that. I could live with that every day. and sing along with it. Lovely.
Shout help every day.
Yeah.
And what about your book?
I'm going to take a complete book on how to build boats.
Deeply practical book. This is probably not permitted, but there we are. You've got
All
it.
right.
It's Christmas.
Thank you. Right.
What about a luxury?
I would have a complete carpenter's cabinet, full of all the tools. Then I'd be as happy as a sandboy. See, I could do anything. Then I could build anything, make anything, cut anything. I could build little huts and boats, rafts, go out fishing, all sorts of things. I'd be busy, so busy all day I wouldn't even notice that I'm on a desert island.
And you wouldn't escape in any of these boats because you don't want to?
Well, I'd go for little forays. You never know. There might be another little desert island when some nice young female has been deserted upon, and I could go visit her as a gentleman caller.
It's all wishful thinking. David Jason, thank you very much indeed for letting us hear your Desert Island Discs, and happy Christmas to you.
Thank you, sir, and to you.